Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to the Sweetwater Minute. Today we're here with Paul Smith, founder of Paul Reed Smith Guitars. And Paul is here for a very special event at Sweetwater. We want to talk about that, and then we want to look at some of these incredible guitars that we've got here at Sweetwater that Paul made for us. So let's get rolling. So Paul, why are you here?
Look, Sweetwater is not just a dealer for PRS or PRS a manufacturer for Sweetwater. We're partners.
Mm-hmm.
And we came here not just to do a sales event, but we actually brought a whole bunch of private stock wood, which is all on display here for customers to come in and pick their curly maple top and their extraordinary figured back or neck wood or fretboard wood or whatever it was to make a special instrument, something like this or something like these two guitars, which you guys came to the factory and picked the wood out specifically. So,
That's right.
you know, if you take and hide wood away for a decade to save for a rainy day, and it rains, you better pull it out, right? So we've put in all this wood that I would never put up for sale, and we're here to partner with you guys and your customers so that they can be involved from the first moment on of having the guitar made. And this is pretty much in the private stock program.
Now this is wood that you've personally collected over the years, and you keep it in what you call your wood library at the factory.
We as a team collect it. It's not just me.
Okay.
And when we finally decided to put it up for sale, which had been a long, long discussion, we built something called a wood library because what are you going to do with it? It looks just like a wood library, right?
Right.
So the wood library came after the moment we decided to sell it because we had to put it on display somehow, right? And so then we sent about 70 guitars worth of wood out here from our wood library for everybody at Sweetwater to look at. It's been fun. I walked in and went, whoa, how professional of a job that you guys did was just dropped my jaw. It was beautiful.
Thank you. And there's some incredible pieces of wood. The back, some pieces of wood that I've never seen types of wood before. And maple, it's just incredible. Spalted maple, curly maple, flame maple, every kind of wood you can think of. In addition to fingerboards, necks, all kinds of blanks that are available for people to work with.
You know what's interesting? There's a lot of Sweetwater salespeople, managers, whatever, and you guys have taken a personal way to it in that you're coming in and playing the guitars that we made out of the wood library. There's a lot of really good guitar players here, right? And that's good for your customer base because then you really know what you're talking about.
Sure.
And Sweetwater's getting a reputation for guitars more and more and more as time is going on, whereas you started as just pro audio gear, but now you're deeply into guitars, and there's a lot of good guitar players here, which is a real safety for the customers because they know they're talking to somebody who knows what they're doing.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of these special guitars that we've brought out here for the video. This one that you're holding is what you're calling a violin guitar, and you had said you made about 75 of these. Can you tell us? Can you tell us about this guitar?
Well, there are 50 of them that we're making.
50. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I have trouble keeping track sometimes too. It's a beautiful guitar. It's as close to a violin as we can make and still be a guitar. I mean, really, the guitar is the violin of our times. You know, it used to be that hundreds of years ago, when the violinists came from Italy to England, they were treated as rock stars, right? And now the rock stars they're still playing violins, but they're rock stars are the virtuosos of our industry. And so this is as close to a violin as we can make. It's stained with the same kind of powders that the old violinists used to use. It's got a Pernambuco neck, which is the stuff that, say, a $35,000 violin bow is made out of. We found a supply of curly maple that we think that Stradivari got his wood from, and actually found a place where it's actually pretty close to Italy where the stuff grows, and it looks exactly, if you look at the old books of Stradivarius and you look at the wood we got, it's the same stuff. It's really cool. So that's what the top's made out of.
It's a stunning top.
Oh yeah, they're just fun. And we're using a lot more of this ribbon stripe African mahogany stuff that we really like.
So let's look at these two guitars here. I was part of the team that went to the factory and helped design these in the wood library. I'm talking about kids in a candy store. This is a Tremonti, and it has one of the most incredible tops I've ever seen.
It's a one-piece quilted top, right? One of the reasons that electric guitars have two-piece tops is the trees don't grow that big, because as settlers, when we came to this country, we cut all the trees down 3 times.
Right.
Right, so I mean, when we showed up, the trees were big, right? But now,
Not so much.
not so much, right? So you go into a forest and the trees only are about that big around. Not because they don't grow; they grow bigger than that. It's because we cut them down before, right?
Right.
But this actually has a one-piece top on it, which is very rare. It has a curly mahogany back, which people didn't even know existed, but we found a supply of it. It's got a beautiful rosewood neck and rosewood fretboard and gold outlined birds, inlays. And there's probably Tremonti pickups in here. I don't know what the build sheet said, but this is a wonderful instrument.
Now this guitar is part of a family of 4 that we designed when we were at the factory. And all 4 of the guitars were different models, but we put the same matching tops so that the guitars came together, and taken as a whole, we're a family with the burl maple top.
Yes, burl. It's beautiful. It's curly and quilted and burly, and it's really, when you see in a tree the big burl, it's a section of the tree. It kind of has a round section in it, and you cut into it. It's wild grain stuff. It's just crazy, right? I mean, before this, burl's mostly known for, they make pipes out of it, right? You know, but it's beautiful. I'm really glad you guys started with this. And the back on this guitar is just 3-dimensional looking.
It moves when
it moves. That's because it's actually growing this way in the tree, and then that way, and then this way, and then that way, and this way. When you cut through it, it literally, you can see that it was doing that. It's just beautiful. Same thing. It's got a gorgeous rosewood neck on it, and this has
I believe that's an ebony fingerboard.
ebony fretboard, but it also has gold outline birds, and it looks like it's got ebony insides. And these has 5909 pickups in it, which is something we're doing too.
What I'm curious of, you've obviously handled thousands and thousands of great guitars. When someone wants to purchase a guitar, what should they look for in that instrument to make sure that it's going to be an exceptional, great guitar for them?
The thing I really like is that guitars are like dogs, and that when they bark at you and you know it's your dog, it's your dog. I mean, I had a dog bark at me, and I was like, I don't want a dog. And he said, well, I'm your dog. I went, no, I don't want a dog. He says, I'm your dog. And I guess you're my dog. Guitars are that way, in that somehow, sometimes, you know it was your guitar before you ever got there. And, it's just the way it is. So the answer to your question is they just have to trust their experience. Sit down, play the thing, or take a look at it on the screen and ask enough questions that you can trust your own judgment. That's it.
Great.
I mean, that's how you pick guitars, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right, so I don't have any better criteria other than experience. These are tools to do a job, and they're sophisticated Oxycontin. Really, you sit in I don't see anybody who sits on a couch in their house in a bad mood playing guitar.
Right.
Therefore, I mean, it's like an iPod. Everybody has an iPod in their ears, pretty much in a good mood. It's a mood adjuster, right? I love guitars for that. It's a nice business to be around Sweetwater, because when somebody feels well taken care of by one of your sales engineers, they're almost like their salesman for life. So that's going on, and I have my guy here I call, right?
Right. Yeah, the relationships that develop run very deep. Paul, thank you so much for being with us. The event here at Sweetwater has been incredible, but of course PRS guitars are always available at Sweetwater. We always have a ton of amazing instruments here that are available for you. You can check them out at Guitar Gallery.
By the way, this guitar's for sale. That guitar's for sale.
They're all for sale, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe you should just buy them and keep them.
There you go.
No.
I wish I could.
No, I don't think so.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, great.
I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for joining me for the Sweetwater Minute.